is it always Minnesota? It always just seems to be the case. Everything we cover is coming out of. What is going wrong in that state? I think it's the lack of sun. It drives people crazy. It's winter. Make sure you get your vitamin D. How's it going, guys? Hopefully everything's working. We had some tech issues last night and been away for a while. Had a pretty crazy week myself. Got stuck on a refugee ship. Maybe I'll talk about that later. But today we're talking about the scam, billion-dollar scam in Minnesota, of all places. And this is quite a crazy story. And it's kind of, the last couple of days, it's really been coming up. But this is not a new issue. Because as well as doing some research on this, it seems like people reporting on this back until 2018, people were talking about this from this report from, what is this? I guess this is Fox News or something, but let's take a look at what they say.
Agencies closed Baraka Child Care Center yesterday morning while investigators executed a search warrant. It's one of 10 being investigated for financial misconduct of the state's child care assistance program. WCCO's Jennifer Merrily
it wasn't Fox,
shares where that money would have gone instead.
Nearly 2,400 kids are on the waiting list for Minnesota's Child Care Assistance Program. It helps low-income families pay for child care. Daycares are given money per child. But right now, state agencies are investigating financial fraud at 10 different centers, including Baraka Child Care Center in Minneapolis.
Now, the report that we're going to see today, I think it's from Nick Shirley. He did a 40-minute investigative journalism on the ground. They're claiming it's as many as 800 fraudulent businesses. Now, the number is somewhat disputed, but it's very hard to actually lock down how many there are because there is multiple businesses running at multiple businesses running at the same location. So is it the case that there is, some people are saying it's only 80. I mean, 80 is a lot, especially when they're taking like $1 million each. It's potentially up to $80 million or more. So it's a little bit hard to lock down, but it's not just daycares. It's fraudulent health centers, and in particular, I kid you not, it's autism centers. So it's like these healthcare for autistic children, and these fraudulent businesses are just running there, and I guess they just sit around on their phone all day gooning or something. I don't know what they're doing, but as far as I can tell, none of these places are real. I do have a couple of issues with his video, which I'll bring up when we get to them, but it's actually quite shocking to see how out in the open this is and how nobody cares about it. It's like, I don't know, it's something about Minnesota, just nobody gives a shit. It's too cold to go outside and do work, I suppose.
So where there's been these totally fraudulent operators and stealing money. And
Very
so
funny.
high time. And they should crack down on more.
As part of the investigation, the BCA and Secret Service spent hours at this home in Columbia Heights, combing through it and collecting evidence. A relative told WCCO.
They are good family, they work hard, that's all.
The raid at Baraka focuses on fraudulent billing of the state assistance program. A child care provider investigations unit formed in 2014 to investigate similar cases has already closed 12 child care centers.
So the latest child care scam has been to have 100 people enrolled, 100 kids enrolled in your program, have 10 show up, bill for the 100.
That happened.
The thing that's like kind of mind-blowing is just how simple this scam is. Literally just say, well, we've got 100 kids here, and you have maybe 10. Now, the ones that they're showing in today's documentary, I guess, is they have no kids whatsoever. But this is like one of the most easiest things to verify. You just have to go out there and count the roll, essentially. Make sure the names are real, legitimate. It's literally that simple. And especially with childcare, you think they'd be doing that anyway, because there should be such strict requirements to make sure, like, health and safety, no dangerous equipment being around. Like, this is one of the most vulnerable people in society. At the very minimum, if you're giving them $1 million grant, you're going to pay for one person to go out and just check, do a head count. It really is that fucking simple.
In several cases that resulted in a conviction. In one, the criminal complaint reveals investigators set up cameras to capture kids who entered and exited. Over a 2-week period in 2014, the daycare billed for 950 children who did not attend the center, resulting.
That's a lot of kids too. Like my high school was 900 people, and we were over capacity because I went to a pretty shitty town, lived in a pretty shitty town when I was younger, and they had 2 high schools and they closed one, so all of them merged together. And we had no room. We were like renting out community center halls for classes and stuff. It's like I met like 900 kids in one built facility. It's insane. How could they not just realize this?
And 50
And this is from 2018. This isn't even from this year. That's the thing. This has been going on for years. And like, who knows how long further back?
$1,000 of fraud just for that time period.
There are people who have severe needs that we can't take care of because there's just not enough money, and yet money goes out the back.
Investigators haven't released.
All right. So that's the 2019 report. So we'll go into the more recent stuff. And there's a pretty fun one. Like, this one is really good. Like, everyone's been sharing this one because it's the Quality Learning Center. They forgot to put the end. Now, this is actually a fairly common typographical error. But it is just very ironic, isn't it? Now, allegedly, there are 100 or more children at the Quality Learning Center, but we'll have to see as we go through. So, here is an article from Fox News. It says, Minnesota fraud exposed. Misspelled learning center, no children inside. Amia presses waltz of Minnesota daycare tied to $4 million. And it goes deeper than this because it seems that these daycares are also giving significant political contributions to Somali candidates, not only in Minnesota, but across America. So let's see. Third ranking leader in the House of Representatives, who also happens to hail from Minnesota, demanded answers from Governor Tim Walz after YouTuber tried to confront employees of an alleged daycare center that had misspelled signage and no signs of activity outside, but reportedly received $4 million in state funds. The video went viral this week amid the burgeoning scandal enveloping the Walz administration that notably included at least $1 billion lost to alleged social service fraud, largely tied to the Somali community. Now, I know a little bit about the Somali community in Minnesota. It's very entertaining. There's a lot of fun stories about deepest law. One of them they have is that they literally believe that that Minnesota was promised to them 3,000 years ago, and some of them believe that Minnesota was indeed founded by Somalis. Now, there's a lot of like parody TikToks and things about that, which are very funny as well, but probably won't see any today. Maybe we'll see. If you're good, maybe if you're good. A portion reportedly ended up in the hands of Somali terror group Al-Shabaab. $4 million of hard-earned tax dollar money is going to an education center that can't even spell learning correctly. Care to explain this one, Tim Walz? He wrote on Twitter. The Quality this is a mistake. It should be Learning Center. Quality Learning Center also recently made news for a collective 95 violations from the Human State Services Agency between 2019 and 2023, according to St. Paul ABC affiliate. Such violations range from failure to keep hazardous items away from kids to the daycare not having any records for more than a dozen listed children, according to the outlet. Documentation reviewed by Fox News Digital showed the site's current license does not expire until the end of 2026. Now, post a 1 in chat if you think that anyone is going to take any sort of penalty for this. There's actually a very funny thing that I found this morning. You can go onto Polymarket, not that I recommend that you do, but you can actually bet on the outcome of this. Currently, the chances are about 56% people are saying that yes, and 100,000 people have already bet on this. That will anyone be charged over daycare fraud in Minnesota by January 1st, 2026? Polymarket seems very fun. I don't know. Like, I've never made a Polymarket bet. But the fact that you can just bet on any crazy stuff like will Jesus return before Michael Jackson, stuff like that, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining to me. All right, now, this is a kind of the counter narrative. The CBS Evening News, they got a 2-minute thing, says, fraud scandal leaves Minnesota Somali community bracing for crackdown. And they have some mean things to say about Mr. Trump. So let's have a look at that. Well, I guess it's President Trump.
We turn now to President Trump's latest attacks on Somali immigrants in Minnesota. About 84,000.
It's an attack. I mean, is it an attack if they are scamming, though? That's my question.
1,000 people of Somali descent live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. The president says he doesn't want any Somalis living in the U.S. after a few dozen were implicated in a COVID relief fraud case. We get more.
Now, I think this is a bit of a stretch. Trump did actually say this, but I don't think he means no Somalis whatsoever in America. Clearly, he's talking about the scammers, but they love to have these spicy sound bites.
On this from Jonah Kaplan of CBS Minnesota.
Minnesota is reeling from a fraud scandal involving $1 billion siphoned from multiple federal programs during the COVID pandemic. In the past 3 years, 87 people have been charged, 61 convicted, most of Somali descent.
Now, a lot of these are probably related to the Payment Protection Program. And this was a program they had during COVID where you could pay your own wages. Well, not necessarily, but you could make a claim to the government to cover your employees' wages during lockdowns for the couponing. And one of the stream regular topics actually claimed quite a bit of money from this, as I understand it, maybe as much as well, I don't want to put a fair number, but basically, if you have your own business, you could claim your own wages and just get a big lump sum payment from the government. Now, if you're a taxpayer, I actually would encourage you to do that if you have the ability to take your money back, because government takes so much fucking money from you anyway. But the question is, how many of these fraudulent businesses have ever received any income? Or is it all just being propped up by these almost $1 billion of fake businesses?
Erica MacDonald was U.S. Attorney for the District of Minnesota during the first Trump administration. What happened in Minnesota where fraud was able to run rampant that it didn't in other states?
This is a good question. I think they're just lazy. I think they're just lazy and they're cold. They want to sit inside and watch their reels and their Instagram shorts and everything and just, pass the time. Just killing time all day, every day, because it's too fucking cold to go outside. What is the solution? What is the solution to Minnesota? I kind of fraudulent slip there. We've got to send them to Canada, I think.
Lack of accountability, frankly. We knew that fraud occurs, and there's warning signs that come with it, and they were ignored in this case.
According to investigators, the schemes involved bogus receipts and invoices for meal programs, housing assistance, and behavioral health services.
Now, when they say behavioral health services,
involved bogus receipts and invoices for meal programs, housing assistance.
They're literally talking about autism centers. So autistic support centers is one of the three main fraudulent businesses that I can see. It's mostly daycares, ambiguous healthcare services, and then autism centers. That's what they're talking about. They don't want to say it, though. They don't want to say it. Say its name. Say it.
Behavioral health services, charging the state millions for services that were never provided.
I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars.
The president lashed out at Minnesota's Somali community during Tuesday's cabinet meeting at the White House, saying he doesn't want them in the country and called them garbage.
I think it's a beautiful country.
Jamal.
I think he's specifically talking about the scammers, and scammers are garbage people. They're the worst people in society because they're parasites, okay? Some, I assume, are good people.
Osman, who moved from Somalia to Minnesota when he was 14, is a naturalized U.S. citizen and a member of the Minneapolis City Council.
Anyone who looks like me are scared right now.
The fear comes as the Somali community here is bracing for a surge of ICE agents cracking down on migrants who've been issued final deportation orders. The president is pointing...
Wait, what is... Hold on a second. We want to go back for just a second.
Final deportation orders. There is bracing for a surge...
So this is the Somali flag, right? There's just like the blue with the white star on it. Why does it look so similar to the Minnesota flag? I'm sure this is just a coincidence, but if there is any Minnesotans in the chat, can somebody explain the rationale? Because like this is actually kind of crazy. This is kind of like an old news, but like the Somali flag versus the Minnesota flag. I'll show you, like, corporate needs you to detect which of these two pictures are different. Okay, this is the Somali flag, and let's go to the Minnesota state flag. Hold on a second. So this is the Minnesota state flag. It is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because it's like there's a bit of like, if you were an English teacher in a high school, you might say that you can determine some meaning from this, how it looks like the color is invading and pushing out the deeper blue, moving towards the center. But like, this is actually kind of crazy. What is the deepest law behind the Minnesota state flag? Yeah, the Minnesota state flag. We need to know. All right, back to this one.
Of ICE agents cracking down on migrants who've been issued final deportation orders. The president is pointing to the fraud cases in Minnesota, and we know that a majority of the suspects are of Somali descent. How is your community taking that?
Well, my community is upset. Yes, people commit crimes, but the entire community should not be blamed based on what some individuals did.
I do agree with this. I don't think that individuals should be blamed by the actions of the group. However, the group of people that are committing this fraud is in the tens of thousands. Allegedly over 800 fraudulent businesses, and tied to each of these businesses is dozens of people. And it seems like they've created like this enclosed little space where everybody knows each other. They don't interact with the outer community, and they self-regulate, they self-police. to the point where there's a Tyler Oliveira video where he goes around checking out the Somali issue in Minnesota, and they have like people like allegedly pull up guns on them and stuff like that, and try and bully them out of the town and things like that. It's a tricky situation. Tricky situation.
Some House Republicans on an oversight committee in Washington announcing in a news release they're launching their own investigation into the allegations of fraud and accusations that some of that money could have been funneled directly to terror groups overseas. But I spoke with a number
It seems that is the case, but people don't want to say it.
of federal investigators, and they tell me there is no evidence that that happened. Instead,
all right, so let's go into this one. So this is the documentary. This is by Nick Shirley. Gonna like that video. Gonna give him a subscribe. There you go. I investigated Minnesota's billion-dollar fraud. I'll post a link to it in the chat if you want to watch it without the no yap edition. So don't complain about pausing. If you're saying, oh, you're pausing it, just go fucking watch it on his thing. I'm gonna post it right now. Let's see. No yap edition. There you go. There you go. It's right there. So I don't want to hear any. I don't want to hear it. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This is a long one, so watch it at 2.5 speed, I think. There we go. There will be pauses.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building. Potentially the largest fraud.
Now, I will say, like, one point of criticism that this video will receive is that you can't just go up to a daycare and demand that they show you the children. However, there are no children in these daycares, so there's no children being at risk. That's an important point to say. I'll just point that out.
Fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia.
Just look at this. Like, these just speak for themselves. $9 billion estimated stolen by scammers. They're just $3 billion away from replacing the entirety of Somalia's GDP. That is insane. Like, this is such an easy thing to get away with, apparently. Like, how do they do this? Oh my god. I'm actually surprised to know that Minnesota itself even has billions of dollars. Like, what is the GDP of Minnesota? I'm kind of curious.
These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they...
Here's a question, is like... Oh man, there's no way to say this that doesn't sound terrible. Africa is a very diverse place, and there's loads of different people. Why is it that Somalians all have this look? Like, you can tell a Somali person for some reason. Like, they just have this iconic Somali look. Why is that the case? They don't look like the other Africans. I'm like, does anyone notice this? AG Biochemist says, I see mutants. I assume he's not talking about these three men in general. I don't know. I can't co-sign these statements. But there is a very, you just know when you see one. It's kind of crazy.
Enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups.
All right. Largest funder of Al-Shabaab is the Minnesota taxpayer. The problem is that a lot of Minnesotans would probably approve of this and rejoice when they heard this news.
In Somalia, like the Al-Shabaab and others, enrich themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video, we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will
That was fun.
also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud. And
Do you think we'll see like a jump scare from like gay 90s? Because the last time we saw a documentary from Minnesota, we did. Now, I wish that this was a schizo board in the background. This guy's maybe got like a love for fine architecture or something. Maybe he's an architect. I don't know. If they had replaced this, like this is just like Just my thoughts. If they had replaced this with a schizo board of like daycare centers with like a lot of red thread going before them, I would approve that. I think it would be much more visually stimulating. But I mean, this is just his office. We can't really complain too much about it. Also, Maddie, welcome to Darkside. EDW. There.
I would see these childcare centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. And then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger. Never.
Now, this is the funny thing, is that you can charge for these services of driving people around. My question is, are these guys just driving around in circles all day to do the fraudulent billing, or are they just doing their errands, or they're doing Uber Eats? Because that's the real scam, is you double dip by actually working, but then having your second job being a scam. So they're making money hand over fist, millions of dollars a year, that you also get a little bit of side, delivering someone his Maccas or something. That's what I'd be doing if I was a scammer. I'm just thinking about, like, you gotta maximize it's like the hustle culture. Speaking of hustling, BobTube with a $5 says, the CEO of one of these healthcare companies is running for president of Jubiland and has an army funded by Maine Healthcare. Jubiland? What is Jubiland? $28 million he does. That's crazy. Thank you for the 5-0.
Ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever.
Now, we don't know if these 800 specific Somali companies are all fraudulent. Some, I assume, are regular businesses. But how many of them aren't?
Cross checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here, we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research. And then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is math.
And why is that? Like, it seems that an overwhelming majority, like I said, there's 3 main ones. There's autism centers or autism support centers or whatever. There's general health services, and then there's daycare. Is it the case that daycare is just easier to register and easier to just say, oh yeah, we got 100 kids coming through, which doesn't make sense because you think that there would be records of the children. They probably have to take their health records for vaccinations or allergies, things like that. Like, I can understand health services being very difficult, but why would children's services be just so easy? Like the non-emergency driving thing seems a lot easier to get away with. If it is the case that you just have to like put in an application and you get it approved basically immediately, that is insane. I think I remember seeing Tim Waltz saying something about improving daycare services, or daycare services being the backbone of Minnesota's economy. I guess it's true with fraud, but it's kind of crazy. Because, like, you would think you would have the most stringent requirements for a daycare because it's people's children are on the line there. J-Rock says, Meme is a New Zealand fellow, is a nice New Zealand fellow. That's defamation. I did live in New Zealand, though, until I was deported, allegedly. Iram with a 20,000 RD says, they funded Baldo Man and the Imodium abuser. I suppose. There is some quartering stuff. I was trying to find a stream last week before I went away to the Horse Island. And I was going to talk about the quartering, but there was only about 5 minutes worth of content. But the quartering hitting on Melanie Mack during the Amfest or whatever is very, very funny. And it's so cringe. It's like, do you guys want to watch that at the end? Maybe we'll do that as bonus content at the end. Like, Hannah Claire steps up to save Melanie Mack from being forced to watch sports alone with quartering. All right, let's go.
Massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address.
All right, so we've got the Mako Childcare and the Mini Childcare Center. They're both, yep, this is exactly the same address They all have licenses too. Although the second one is not licensed. Now, I mean, the second one is not listed with an owner with the state of Minnesota.
And together, they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers.
It is important to note that being licensed for and having the same amount is not the same thing. Like, you may be licensed for 100 children, but then you're only at 50% capacity or something. But you at least have one child. And if these big places where they are billing for like hundreds of kids, you would expect, it would be very easy to know if kids were there because there'd be parents dropping them off. There'd just be the sound. Like, you can't have 100 kids together and not have them be making noise. They'll be crying. They'll be fighting. They'll be playing. There'll be laughter. They'll be giggling. All sorts of noise. Like, it's not something you could just sweep under the rug, unless they've got like secret tunnels with that. That's like getting a bit dark though. But yeah, it should be pretty obvious. There'll be playgrounds. There'll be places for them to like just drop off and pick up. That's one of the most important things actually for daycare, is just the logistics of getting all the parents that have to come through and drop everything off in the start of the day.
Getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never had any of them. They're all fraught with violations. And even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's millions of dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks.
This one sort of makes me really, this one actually gets me really like fired up about this, like this story, is that surely these businesses should have to be profitable. They're just like charities. They're getting, each one of them is getting like close to $1 million each. How does this make sense? If there's a economic need for these places, they should be economically viable. Now, in the first year, yeah, businesses usually don't make a lot of money. Things like that. If you're struggling in business, that's fine. I can understand that. But if none of these businesses are posting any profit except from what they're getting from the government, it's just a flat out scam. It's that simple. They should at least have, tax returns showing how much income is coming in, not from the government. Oh, we got one customer. They gave me this much money. But they have none of this? It's so fucking obvious. How did they get away from it for so long? The case is just that nobody cares about Minnesota, and it's too cold to go out and actually see if anyone drops off a kid. What was this one? Creative Minds Daycare was shut down, and they just changed the names and forgot to take the sound down. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think that's a like later part of this documentary, because I did watch most of this because I was enthralled by the story about just how blatant it all is. But that is another thing, is they just get, every time they get caught, they just start another one, and apparently there's no waiting time, there's no background checks, there's no nothing. They just go ahead.
This is kind of the maddening thing, is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses.
The irony is that these businesses are actually operating as adult daycare, because all of the workers just go there and just, I guess, shit around on the floor using their phones or whatever it is they do. And then they just get paid for it, though. Like, all of us should be so lucky.
And then, of course, we have the transportation. A lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that had...
Adult daycare? You mean Stoney's Bar? Yes. Stoney's Bar in Rockville, Minnesota. A company that isn't fraudulent. That's apparently that's the best thing you can say about Minnesota businesses.
Has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this?
The government knows. They're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician...
Now, like, this is very true, but understanding the level of how this works is, if you've never been there, and I haven't, it's kind of hard to understand. But, like, in the Tyler Oliveira video that I've seen previously, which I won't watch today, but he just goes around talking to people on the street, and immediately, as soon as you talk to anyone on the street, you start getting groups of people coming up to you and yelling at you and telling you to go away and saying, don't talk to these people. So they're actually out in public enforcing their own closed society.
You're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota.
But like, there's like what, like 100,000 Somalis in Minnesota? I think that's what I saw. Or maybe it's more than that. Are they just like very rabid voters that are going to vote for anyone that lets their fraud keep going? Because immigrants, I don't know if they're like a high turnout for voting usually. But I guess in this case they are.
What do you hear this term, Minnesota nice? I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe, and they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud, and they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law, which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole...
Wait, what is that one?
But Walz is also guilty of misconduct.
Officer of Revisitor Statutes. Okay. Misconduct. What is this? I haven't heard about this. Might have to check that out later.
When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people.
That's quite a crazy claim. The worst. I mean, they might be right though. If it's an entire country's GDP. Actually, hold on a second. I'm curious. How much is New Zealand's GDP? New Zealand GDP. New Zealand's GDP is around $200 billion. Really? Okay. What is Minnesota's? That surprises me. I thought it would be less than like $5 billion. Minnesota's economy is around $472 billion. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
So we're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could.
All right, let's see if we can see anything interesting here. This is what we're missing out on in Minnesota.
Uncover in one afternoon. Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
First piece of criticism I'm gonna levy against this documentary is obviously it's snowing, and it's snowing in Minnesota quite often. But due to the release date of this documentary, which was I guess 2 days ago, a lot of people are going to bring up the claim that it is, well, they just shot this over Christmas and nobody was there. So I would have loved if they had an establishing shot with the date. Now, I believe they do mention that they go on a weekday, but like if they had like a newspaper they were holding up, like they go buy one or something, I think that would add a lot of credibility to this, because that is one of the main copes that I've been seeing from people that are talking about. There's two main copes. The first one is that like they're going to and harassing places with children. Well, first of all, there's no children. No children found in this video. And second is that there's people are saying it's like Christmas, but obviously this would have had to been filmed weeks ago, because you don't just put something together like this, you know, like over 2 days. Like this sort of video takes at least 2 weeks, realistically like a month to edit. It's quite a big endeavor. You've got multiple cameras. You've got multiple. I mean, he's holding two microphones right now. Like there's just a lot of work that goes into this.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans had moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got.
So every year, they're just about $1 million or more. I mean, obviously in 2021 there was they were missing about $13,000 there, but they made up for it in 2020 and.
$714,000.
Hold on a second, I can't say.
That's the last I have.
No, it's just about $1 million every year. I was right. Just about $1 million every year for the Mako Child Care Center. Crazy.
For that one, and then
like, how do I get $1 million for my business? I actually do shit.
The other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about $800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually two daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on the sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. and there are no children. Every facility you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see us.
Like that's one thing that's kind of interesting is that like you do see that all of these businesses have like blacked out video windows. I was going to say videos. Oh no, fraudulent slips. Now it's not uncommon to have like a daycare to have like a like a clouded or opaque window or something, because you don't want people to be able to go in and see inside, and like you don't want like creepy people like that. So that's normal. But blacked out windows is very strange because you do need to have natural light for children. They need you don't want them inside in these dark areas. Pretty basic human standard is you want to have a light, especially developing young minds. But it doesn't matter because there's no kids there, so no one's being abused. Except perhaps some of the women that we'll see in this video.
Single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right, let's go in. And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell? Try to get in, ring the doorbell. Nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars, and it seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this
No, like I said, it would have been nice if he showed something that actually proved it was like like a middle of the week, not like a holiday or something. I'm assuming that I'm gonna take him at his word that it is a weekday and it's not like filmed directly over Christmas. But this doesn't matter though, because a lot of these immigrants don't even celebrate Christmas at all. But if it's a 7-day daycare, there are people that are going to be busy anyway.
was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There'd be maybe like a playground or something outside. Or
there's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming through.
Yeah, they're coming. The word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No. Can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location.
And the fraud only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know when they filmed this, but I'm gonna assume it's at least the beginning of just knowing how long it takes to edit these sort of things. It's almost certainly the earliest they could have filmed this would have been the beginning of December. Most likely filmed in November.
Done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota.
And here in Minnesota,
oh, yeah. This is surely just a coincidence, but it is very funny. Did anyone in the chat tell me why the Minnesotan flag's like that? It's too crazy how close they are.
Look at the Minnesota state flag. They recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has now become the most powerful AI growth tool for creators.
All right, since this guy's doing a lot of work, we'll watch his ad.
Now over 10 million creators and businesses have used Opus Clip to help them gain over 60.
But I'm going to say that I don't like these AI auto clip generator slop thing. That's not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend this. I haven't seen anyone really grow anything significant using these things. I have never used an AI clip generator. But I have made like YouTube shorts and stuff, and it's like it used to be like a gold mine, but now it's like garbage. And a lot of YouTube channels are getting deleted entirely because they're using AI slop content generators. Like you hear all these stories about 4 million channels have been deleted, and it's like all the innocent YouTubers have been. It's not really. The case is that a lot of people are just using AI to automate thousands of clips a week and upload them and try and game the system because they changed the monetization on short-term videos. I've got some short-form videos that I put up a couple weeks ago, and they got like 100,000 views. Basically, like 50 subscribers per video. It's basically not even worth it. Like, it'd be nice to get my other channel up over 1,000 so I can monetize that one. But it's rough out there in the short-form content market. Unless you're literally getting 10 million views per video, it's like basically worthless. So these companies. This is a very good example of what I consider to be selling shovels during a gold rush.
60 billion views. I've used Opus, and I've even had my friends use it, and it helped my one friend with nearly just 100 followers get a video up to 30,000 views.
30,000 views is nothing. If he's got 100 followers and he got 30,000 views, he probably got like 2 follows from that. So again, it's kind of like useless.
And it's super simple to use. All you do is you upload a video or copy a YouTube link, and Opus will do the rest, and it'll come out with tons of viral shorts for you then to choose from. And Opus.
The funny thing about these these AI clip companies, though, is it's putting a lot of people out of work that were kind of just scammers in the first place.
just came out their new AI Editor 3.0 that comes with smarter auto framing, better virality scoring, and new captions. And I've said it before, but Opus is so simple that even my mom can use it.
And that's why I left in the ad, actually. It's just like, I thought he was going to say when I saw this, this is so simple, even a woman could do it. But he's like, no, my mom could do it. So that's nice. It's kind of cute. It's kind of neat that they have his mum is in the video.
And if I can use it, I know you can use it.
And right now, for you guys watching this video, Opus is going to hook you guys up with a sweet deal. You'll get 1 week free and 3 months at 50% off. All you have to do is go to the link in the description of this video or go to the pinned comment down below and use code Nick Shirley. 1 week free and 3 months at 50% off. And now let's get back.
Wait, is that actually Marjorie Taylor Greene? I can't tell. I don't know. I'm face blind to American female politicians.
Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one, in fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023, $727,336.
This next one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go. All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning.
Like this is just infuriating when you think about how many like legitimate businesses across the world, not even just Americans, but just like in every country, people struggle to become entrepreneurs. Like they put their money on the line. They mortgage their house. They go into debt. They spend 2 to 3 years on average just trying to make their first profit, and then a lot of businesses just break even for years. These businesses are making millions of dollars every year for doing nothing, just parasites on the. It's like infuriating.
Center, all the windows are blacked out. Let's see if
there's actually an interesting detail here. Actually, hold on.
ABC Learning Center, all the windows.
So there's the ABC Learning Center next to the Twins Home Health Care Inc. I wonder if these are both fraudulent industries.
Those are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here. This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I come by this.
I mean, again, like a daycare's door should be locked, but there's nobody here. And this is just look at it's like they're putting cardboard and garbage bags and shit over to block the windows. You think that like a legitimate business would want to attract customers so that they would make it look nice. You want to use a lot of colors, those sort of things. But just having it locked off the bat is nothing unusual.
Place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever. The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars. And
again, another one. Like, just look at what they've done to black this out. It's just like garbage bags, and it's probably just to save on heating. They're trying to put up like their shitty bubble wrap insulation or something. Maximize those profits because they've got to have at least 2 people in there or something just like gooning in there. I don't know. So that they can claim that someone's working.
On the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually.
They should have called to enroll the child too. They did. That's actually going to happen in just a moment. And furthermore, even though they try and enroll a child, they don't actually have a child though. They're just like they claim that they have a child that they want to enroll, and they can't get any application forms or anything like that. Many of these businesses have been subsequently rung, and the numbers aren't even real. Like with the child Learning Center, completely disconnected number.
Answer at the door. Hello, can we speak? I would like to.
They've still got their COVID signs up. That's nice.
Check a child in the daycare. Can I speak to a manager?
That response is that I would like to check a child into daycare. Why? What? Really? Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if these were all legitimate businesses, but they just haven't got any customers yet? It's all just a big misunderstanding. Of course it isn't, but like that would be funny. They're just so shitty and ugly facilities that nobody wants to send their kids. Like, I mean, if you do send your kids to this place, I would say that you should probably have your children taken away from you. But anyway.
Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare. And after a few questions, the lady went silent. Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Child Care.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which says it's licensed for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I tried to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door. I want to put my son Joey in daycare.
I mean, at least this one has like, some like, you know, like you've got some toys, you've got like healthy eating. Choose the right car seat. They at least tried to make this one look real.
Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey. Is this your daycare center?
No, what's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They
Yeah?
got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked there?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
happened?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked there. Okay, well, then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
I'm gonna do myself. No.
Hold on, there's kind of a scary detail here. I was getting.
Can put my son.
Hold on, I gotta go into the crime lab for a second, chat. All right, hold on a second. I haven't used this in a while. It's kind of spooky. Come on, there it is. All right. Go to enhance. Enhance on this claw. Doesn't this look like... Wait. Hello? There we go. Alright, crop. This looks like a spooky, like, witch's hand. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you've got, like, this nail coming over like this. Doesn't this look kind of spooky? Like, these sharp nails? I don't know. I find it a little bit spooky. Anyway.
Joey here.
It's a bit creepy. Like the hand is coming around the door like.
Joey.
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
I'm gonna do myself. No. You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
I think it's just her kid though. Like they're just hanging out there.
Yeah, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah. No. No.
You said
Oh no, the old reversal trick. Classic one.
You said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
You're scared of me.
Is this a henna tattoo? Oh, okay, I thought she had like acid burns on her hand. I think it's just a henna tattoo though. I don't know. It could go either way. I think it's a henna tattoo. Hold on. We'll bring that into the crime lab too. This is the hand investigation stream, okay, chat? Yeah. Is it? Like this kind of looks like a henna tattoo. Do Somalis have henna? Like it's like a little flower or something? But like this over here looks like it's just like burn marks. And her fingers look like burnt as well. Am I seeing things? Am I just being crazy? It's henna? Okay. I'll defer to the chat on this one. But EDW Raptor gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. SP Stella's gifted 5 memberships. Let's go. If you go to the join as a member, you get access to the Discord and you can see my horse pictures. I'll quickly show you one of the horsey pictures. This is actually a really cool effect. Hold on a second. I'm actually very proud of this shot. Wait, how do I bring this over? I guess just like this, right? Look at this. This is why there'd be no streams. I went to Horse Island, okay? Look at this. You got the parallax effect, the background. There's wild horses. Then I got stuck on this fucking island for 2 days because of bad weather. Did I show you the refugee ship that I was on? Like, unironically. It was kind of a wild experience. So those horses are pretty based. Hold on, let me show you. Let me bring up the refugee ship. This is kind of wild. Because we had to escape on this ferry, which we were calling the refugee ship. Where is this? Just a quick detour to see all this extra content you could be getting. This one, just a second. Right here. This one. Oh, there we go. So this is... I'll turn this down. Sorry, that's a bit loud. There we go. So this is like after 2 days, the ferries were finally on. There's only one ferry a day. The ferry was covered in snow. There was no room for anyone. And people were just like sitting out on the deck. Someone built a snowman. That was pretty cute on our refugee ship. That was pretty cute. But then like they had like families like in the corridors and stuff. Hold on, like this. Those are the islands. These are the islands. But like people are just like it's legit like refugee situation here. Like going on, look at this. Like inside the cabins, everyone's just sitting. There's like no room. There's no room for anyone. Everyone's just sitting down on site inside the ship. All the staircases, and this was a bumpy ride too. It was like a roller coaster. Because the seas were still pretty rough. This is the first one we could get out of. Then I had to drive another 400 kilometers back to my house. But yeah, it was pretty crazy how over capacity this was. Kind of dangerous, but oh well. Anyway, let's continue. What is this? It's my refugee experience. Anyway, continuing.
Because of my color, that makes you a racist. So right now, they're all getting mad because he's showing the paperwork of this business being registered as a business. 74 children, no children. We saw one child when the lady opened up the door. So now they're all getting mad.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner. I'm the kids.
Well, then why are you talking for the owner if you're telling me to talk to the owner?
I'm sorry.
But the owner, wasn't that the owner? Like she came in and said, I'm the owner?
I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
It doesn't matter. Like they won't speak to you even if you use Somali or French, because in the Tyler Oliveira video they went through, like they say like they start speaking in English, then you confront them. They say, oh sorry, no English. It's like, okay, well, let's speak in French because a lot of Somalis speak French. They're like, no, I can't speak French either. It's like, all right, we got a Somali translator here, and they're like, no, I can't speak anything. They know this is a very effective tactic to get rid of white people that are pressing them. Is you just start speaking very loudly in a foreign language and start calling them racist, and a lot of Minnesotans just back down.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day. As we continue to show the blatant fraud that was taking place here in Minnesota, Somalis started following us around.
Let me just try. My taskbar is like taking. There we go.
To the city. And now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center. Absolutely no signage, and there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million within the past
5.9 million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years.
That's insane.
That facility right there.
And now
I've got to get me some of these government monies, chat. Georgia Studio says, looks like Monty Python skit, but sounds like Jarvis. Does remind me a little bit of The Life of Brian, when they got the stoning, and everyone's a woman.
we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now. From this daycare center, we headed over to the...
this is apparently pretty... here we go. We're finally arrived at the Quality Learning Center. And also, there's a bit of a funny meme here, but because all of these like places are licensed for like 100 people or some shit. This was a lot of people having fun. A lot of people having fun, like Autism Capital. This Minnesota daycare is licensed for 120 people to children. Very good, very good. All right, we finally arrived. Now, this number was wrong. Disconnected number.
Miss Quality.
And like, does this look like a date? Like, this is like a Soviet bloc. Is this just the depression that Minnesotans live in?
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now. From this daycare center, we headed over to the...
Like, there's no windows. It's just on a street. There's no, like, crossing safety. There's no nothing. There's no windows. Now, yeah, maybe there's a front window in the front, but I mean, over in this side. But it's obviously covered by the black sheets. This is not a suitable place to stick children.
Infamous Quality...
But it doesn't matter because there's no children anyway.
Learning Center, which actually spells...
Completely blacked out door.
Quality Learning Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare. Don't open up! So this is Quality...
Oh, so there's also a very interesting white woman that's just about to show up. A hero is about to show up and save the day. Shredder with a 5 says, but I thought the way to success and the American dream was a degree or a trade. Nope, it's just get paid by the government for doing shit.
Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said they spelled learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
What is... This woman is insane. Like, obviously she's a crazy lady, but like, she's got like a necklace where she's got like a jangling of cheese. What is this woman's motivation? Like, what is this chick's motivation? She's just like liberal hero. Like, 2 guys show up. two skinny white guys show up. One of them is an elderly man, and she just runs, gets her camera out and starts recording and says, "Don't open up, it's ice. Don't open up, it's ice." First of all, if they're worried about ice, maybe they're not there legally initially anyway. Okay? But like, they completely just short circuits their brain when they talk about what they're actually doing here.
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children?
Don't open up!
And get
Let's see. Quality Learning Center. They spelled it learning correctly on the application for the business, I suppose, at least. License number of children licensed for 99. $1.9 million. They certainly weren't spending it on the sign.
getting $4 million over the
Open up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years.
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know where
You're
the-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you.
going
It's ice.
illegally,
Don't open up!
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ice!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare center.
There's 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? Did they run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota.
This is so grumpy.
And who
I
are
love
you?
it.
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling.
Who are you? Nick Shirley? Okay. Gotta love it. The absolute state of society. Everyone just breaks up their fucking camera no matter what happens. I mean, I guess you have to, because if you don't, then they'll record you and then they'll just edit it out and cut it. But I mean, it is a very sad state of affairs, isn't it? Getting old. Starting to lament this dystopian future we've got ourselves in.
As ICE, we're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States.
Well, that's the front of the building, actually. Let's see. So this is the Albee kitchen closed.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States.
So there's actually no front. There's no front window. It's just this side is the kitchen side for the Albee kitchen. And
Get rid of all the fraud.
the Quality Learning Center has no windows whatsoever, except for the glass door that's been blacked out. At least you can get your nails done over there.
You ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
Where?
Yeah, it's right there. It says the child. You've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody here.
We're going to educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
99 children.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None, not at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know, where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that
seen
here.
a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've
Many
never
years.
seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving
Disgusting.
$1.9 million?
Disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant too. That's, if they get caught for that's a federal offense. I know. I studied law.
I mean, it's not an offense if they don't charge you for it. Like if you just get away with it.
And do you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? What the heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Do you think this guy's a steel toe watcher? Like the guy that met Ralph? Just an average Minnesotan walking down the street. He's like, hey, you Ralph? No, not Ethan Ralph. It'd be hilarious if they were the same guy. That'd be just too perfect.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my god. Well, where? Yeah, it's just. I've never seen nobody here at all
So how long have you been living here?
since 2017.
You've
2018.
never seen a single child walk in that building.
No, not at all.
Let's put another poll up. Do you think that anyone is going to get... let's see. Will anyone be arrested for this? Yes, no. All right. And then let's put the old thing up. There we go. There we go. All right. Do you think anyone is going to have any sort of arrest from this? I know that like 73 Somalis were arrested for payment protection scams, but in this one in particular. Max Moore in the chat says, Minneapolis is Tatooine invaded by the Sand People. Oh no. Say it ain't so, Max. Say it ain't so. Nothing ever happens. That's probably most likely.
So this big daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either. No. And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that.
I will say that I like the sign's design. Like, despite the sign being misspelled.
There's no windows either.
No.
I kind of like this. It's very simple. You've got nice muted colors. Very simple color design. I hope whoever designed this sign, despite getting the spelling it wrong, I mean, maybe they just received the wrong instructions. It seems like a quality craftsmanship on this sign at the very least.
And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we headed over to George Floyd's neighborhood.
All right, we're about to see St. Floyd.
Just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we headed over
Unity Foods, fresh meat and produce. You've got a billboard up here with a lot of fat people.
to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center.
The Future Leaders. You love it. You got to love the name. I wish that one of these was named like Future Engineers, Future Doctors, Learning Center, that sort of stuff.
And it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they received $3.6 million. In fiscal year 2024, they received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days a week. So
These people are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going.
They wouldn't be paying taxes, right? I mean, these are government grants. I suppose they're paying their employees. They would have to file for income tax. But if like your business isn't posting a profit and just getting money every year, I don't know, maybe that would come under just cover over for the next year. 200 Studio with a 2 says the Somalian Star Wars movie was Red 5 Down. Is that a real movie? Let me have a look. Red 5 Down. So I almost spelled Red Down Frown. The phrase Red 5 Down is widely recognized line from Star Wars. Oh, but that's when the pilot got shot down, right? Okay. Okay. Nerd comment. Thank you for the 2, though.
Is it going to terrorism? Where is it going? But it's theft, it's fraud, and the reason I'm involved is I want it to stop. I care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime off all this time I've spent on this. I put my life at risk several times.
Like if he's not making any money, all he needs to do is open up a couple of daycares, like to fund his investigation. But you just know if he did this, he'd be shut down like that, right?
But I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is wrong, what is evil.
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you?
Okay, there's actually a person here. All right, this might be a legitimate business. All right, let's go back and examine this one. Okay, this one, they've got windows. It says child care, where the H is gone, so it just says chilled care. They got the blacked out windows, nice colorful colors. Looks like they're renting some stuff out. Okay, this one looks promising. Surely not all of them are scams. There must be at least 1 or 2 good people here.
$3 million.
Let's see.
Over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son, little Joey here. Is there paperwork, or can I check out the daycare? No. Why can't I check out the daycare? Okay, but if I can't get paperwork or anything to submit my son, little Joey, to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card, actually.
You talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children?
Yes.
Why are there no children?
Two of Mexico.
Would my...
So actually, like, one of the things I said earlier was that, like, I wish that they had established the date that this was all filmed. Because some people say, well, like, maybe it's Christmas, or maybe it's Thanksgiving, or something like that. Even though they said that this was a weekday, like a business day. The fact that she's there, operating as if it is a business, which would imply that this is definitely a regular business day. And she said that 2 o'clock is the next time they come in. I would like for them to show them at 2 o'clock. They could just park outside and see nobody coming in at 2 o'clock. I think that'd be Maybe they will. Maybe I missed that part, but I don't think they do. But that would add a lot of credibility to this investigation. Maybe they just cut it for interests of time. That's one of the problems about doing investigative journalism or documentaries on YouTube is that you have to cut a lot because your audience just won't stick around for it.
Son little Joey have friends to play with here? No. No friends for little Joey?
Yes, sorry.
Ah, dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day. So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare.
And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they're receiving.
Now, this part of the documentary is true. Autism is exploding in Minnesota. Or maybe it isn't. Let's find out.
I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center.
We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey.
First of all, look, first of all, where are we? Okay, so this is the guy operating the autism center. I know that everyone has different lives and you can't really judge, like maybe this guy's a victim, but when you have like this scar here, like it's actual villain, like this is like a villain material. Like I'm not sure this is where the autism child should be. Like if you have like a little eye patch here, you know? Oh, wait, because I've got a better color I can put here. Bigger brush perhaps. Let's see, like this. Here we go, cover him with a little eye patch. There's an actual villain vibe from this guy. Just need to have one of those, you know, the scars where they like cross over like this. I'm not so sure about this one. I'm not so sure about this guy running the autism center, but let's see. They've got, okay, a nice green and yellow again. We're seeing a repeating aesthetic in these Somali businesses. Very, very, very bright, and you know, autistic people love colors. I mean, look at my background, for example.
But we thought maybe we could check him in the autism center.
So let's see.
A lot of these daycare centers, we're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe...
Minneapolis Autism Center. Okay, there you go. What is this mark here? It looks like someone smashed a bug. It's like an ant was walking and you stepped on it. Like, what is this supposed to represent? It's just like a splooge or something? I don't get it. What is this?
We could check him in the autism center? Because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number.
Like more than 5?
I mean, this is a smart move, okay. We can't tell you.
Probably, so you don't really know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like,
you
the
don't want
fraud
to give
that's
them a
been labeled on the
definite
autism centers here? What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer.
What news? Are you a news reporter?
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these.
What the fuck is with this door that's been cut in half? What's going on here? Like, what is that? What is this?
Centers here, because there's
So why are you asking us about
the fraud.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, because we want to make sure we're going to legit business if we're going to bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a drug spot. But that's her number on your but this is a we can't let you guys use it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Like, this is just like dark and spooky.
But this is a
Like, surely they would want to be well lit. Like, this is like a cavernous dungeon. Like, this is not the place for autistic people such as myself, who need bright stimulation and colors. Samantha says, why is it always Minnesota? That's a really good question. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And 2 Studio with a 5 says, what did you do at daycare today, honey? Scar showed us how to use a switchblade. I was thinking of the Lion King there for a second, but very funny, very good. Much appreciated. All right, what is this?
Oh, okay, thank you. So once again, little Joey, he can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they serve.
After being able to provide no evidence of them actually being an autism center in a place where a child could go, they shut the door and we headed to the next fraudulent daycare center that was just around the corner.
We're on to the next location. We're still trying to find little Joey a place to go to get some daycare.
So where we're going now is a place called Super Kids Daycare Center. Interestingly, this daycare center was shut down when it was called Creative Minds Daycare, and it had received $2.45 million this.
Creative Minds? More like creative... More like creative scams. That's terrible. I was going to say creative marketing, but...
fiscal
fucked
year
up there. I need it. Sorry, I haven't. The autism centers are closed, chat. I can't come up with witty comments right now.
2025, they had to shut down because there were so many violations, and they
Creative accounting is what I was going to say. Creative accounting.
went and they just reopened.
Wait a second. Tacos L. Kevin? Wait a second. What is this? Tacos L. Kevin? Is it like some white guy? Tacos L. Kevin. I want to see this place. Let's see. Tacos L. Kevin. Why is it? Let's see with the reviews for this. Food review time. Tacos L. Kevin. Let's see what's on the menu. Is that like, that's like tacos by Kevin, right? I don't know. Kevin's Tacos at your event. Is this like a big thing? This is like a taco truck. Is this like a really good taco place? I don't know. Sorry. The autism's distracting me.
Under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center LLC.
So they got shut down, then started another one.
Literally the next day.
Creative.
Show you the tacos. Yeah, it's just like some white guy taco shop. This is Tacos El Kevin. Let's do street taco for $3. You got quesadillas for $10. You've got where is it? You've got here you go. There's the taco truck. Kevin's Tacos at your event. Book now. I don't know. Like this, Kevin seems pretty happy. 100% Mexican foods. Is this a good feed? Like, will I be impressed if I go to Kevin's Taco Truck? I thought is this like a chain? Holla at us on Facebook. Okay. All rights reserved to Tacos Kevin's. Is there a menu? Let's look at the menu for Kevin's Taco. Oh, it's just this. Okay. I mean, they look pretty good. I can't be criticizing tacos by Kevin or whatever that is. Whatever L stands for in Mexican or Spanish.
Mine's daycare, $2.45 million got sent to this daycare center. We have.
All right, this looks better. Okay, this looks like an actual business.
$2.45 million got sent to this daycare center.
Wait a second.
Creative Minds Daycare,
All right, so there's flowers on this tree here. Isn't that? I don't know about it in America, but usually when we put flowers by the roadside on a tree, it means someone died here, like a car crash. So probably not a very safe street. Maybe it's just decorations. I don't know.
$1 million got sent to this daycare center.
All right, so this looks like an actual daycare. You've got like an armored bus apparently. I don't know why it's white. You've got like the windows, like this has got like a loading zone, places where parents can drop off their kids. This actually looks like a legitimate business so far. Will there be any children here though? Let's find out.
We have empty parking lot. We do have a bus here. This is different. We'll see if we see anybody.
I knocked on the door. Absolutely nobody was inside, and once again, no children could be heard anywhere.
So David, once again, another child daycare center. We have a bus out here. No one's inside.
It's right next to fucking Kevin. I can see the Kevin Tacos by Kevin is right there. You can see him on his little. He looks like the Fairly Odd Parents or something. You know, like that sort of animation.
Licensed for over 50 kids. No children anywhere, but yet millions of dollars every single year.
Apparently, Nick Starro is joining us.
Creative
Welcome,
Minds
Nick
Daycare.
Starros.
They got in so much trouble. They had so many violations that they had to shut down, and they reopened the next day under Super Kids Daycare Center. You see, 3801 Portland.
So it seems like that this was actually a legitimate business, but then when they did get shut down because Minnesota decided to check on one of these facilities, they found that it was either dangerous or not up to code or whatever. And then they decided that once it was no longer working as a legitimate business, they're just like, oh, let's just try again, but this time will just be a scam. Okay, works out pretty well then.
3801 Portland, which is where we are.
So that's fraud right there alone.
Millions and millions of dollars, and again, the kids are missing. Where are the kids?
You'd think if they had the same address, that whoever's inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would just say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
They just write the check.
Starro?
Human Services, they got to clean out the whole bunch. They're the ones who enabled this fraud. How can you not?
Daycares, yeah, this one is a bit spooky. It looks like they converted it from like a Taco Bell or something. I don't know. I guess I couldn't compete with Kevin's Tacos across the road, so they had to become a daycare. Twitch Studio said, Scar reassured us that this facility was gun-free zone. Well, I'm sure it's not a knife-free zone.
Not look and say, wait a minute, these two are registered at the same address.
On top of all of the childcare centers, that's just only a small piece of the fraud. What other fraud are they committing here in Minnesota?
So another major piece of the fraud is the home healthcare industry. Where we're going now is a building that has 14 Somali-owned home healthcare companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in one building.
14 home healthcare companies with different names in the same building.
How bad has Tim...
How do they get like licensed for this? Like, healthcare usually has stringent requirements. You can just open one with like no. I mean, I guess if you open a hospital, then you need to like you can open a hospital as a business. Then you start hiring the doctors. The doctors have to be licensed. But surely there are some sort of requirements. Like there's like no medical professional working at these medical facilities. They're just getting away with all of this. Like I can kind of understand it with the autism centers. Because the autism centers is like, well, how do you treat it? Maybe they just need like attention or something. Maybe they just need people to be there to look after them. I get that one. You could maybe get away with that. But like for medical services, doesn't make any sense.
Manage the budget here inside of Minnesota.
So the last biennium, we had an $18 billion surplus. This biennium, we have a $6 billion deficit. That's a $24 billion swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years? This is how right here. This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say...
All right, well, to be fair, of that $20 billion swing, fraud only accounts for $9 billion worth of it. So it's not only the Somalis here, okay? it's not only, okay? Like there are other people at fault here as well. You know, it's like people are recovering. There's inflation and stuff. People aren't going out and buying. There's recovering from the coup and everything. Some people, the war's still going on. Who knows?
A lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I would say better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar.
Wait, what was that?
Actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a...
They're raiding Carboni's Pizza. I guess it's probably the tax services. But like, what a place to work. You got a pizza company right there. That'd be great. Second floor is the pizza. So the pizza smells like wafting down. Delicious.
Raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we were about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 4...
That's a huge fucking...
I just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we were about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14
There's a chunky FBI officer
offering the exact same services.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies.
So you've got African Immigrants Community Services, Dollar General, First Day Care Center, G&H York Trading Inc., Haroon Law Office, Hashi Consulting, Helping Hands Home Care LLC. Like, I assume some of these are legitimate businesses. You've got Hawathi Senior Center. You've got Hub Health Services, Itasca Health Services, whatever Car Express is, Logistic and Suppliers, Midwest Home Quality Care, Better Home Health Care, Present Help Inc., Koha Coffee Co. I guess this is probably a legitimate business too, right? You've got Safari Services. I mean, they certainly do. Somali Community of Minnesota. You've got two of those, two different Somali communities. That's nice.
Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, the pizza company wasn't Somali. It was a fraudulent tax center that they raided. Now, the tax center was most likely a non-Somali owned business, which is why they raided it. But there just happened to be a pizza store above it.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here? No. Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security armed. This is the strangest...
What do you think these people are doing all day? Like, you've got all these fraudulent businesses. You're stealing millions of dollars a year. But you just have to go to office and just sit down. What are they doing? Are they just playing on their phones? Are they doing Candy Crush? Because, like, that's a golden opportunity for you to actually improve yourself. Like, you could be reading books. You could be working out. You could put a home gym in there. Like, this is what I would do. Like, if I was scamming these businesses, I'd get like a squat rack in there. Like for $500, you can set up a home gym pretty easily. And then you just go in there, do all your workout during the day. That's the best feeling. Because actually, when I was working as a teacher in Japan, they had a gym, and I would actually just go there in my free period because I'd have like time to prepare. I finished my prep time. I would go there and just work out at work. That was the best feeling. Oh my goodness. Like when you finish work and you don't have to go to the gym because you've already done it, that was so good. Oh man, that was such a bonus to working there. Rent locker space. I'm too simple. Scam calling. I mean, yeah, you put scams on your scams. That's like the next level. You could be running a scam phone service, right, while you're scamming, and also delivering Uber Eats, driving around with the emergency non-emergency delivery drives, whatever they are.
Place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here.
I love how they just have like a piece of paper sign onto the sign on the wall.
Bunch.
Did I guys tell you about like my accountant? So I've got a very interesting accountant. He took me to his office the other a couple months back. His office is literally in the back of like this fabric company. So it's like, you know, a Better Call Saul, where Saul's office is at the back of like the Korean nail salon. It's kind of like that. So he shares an office with this like fabric company. So I go through all of these like t-shirts and things. I start to get a little bit concerned, honestly. But this guy he's very creative with his accounting, I guess. He's a very interesting guy. But I was a little bit concerned when I saw all of the t-shirts around my accountant's office. But he's a nice enough guy, I suppose. He's on his love quest. He is married, but he doesn't live with his wife. He's trying to find a girlfriend.
Of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here.
I mean, these probably clearly go to the same room, right? So they're just like, you get 2 doors. Every door is one business. That's pretty smart, honestly. It's like creative scamming. You love to see they're trying a little bit.
This room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
Huh?
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will.
Do people in Minnesota just walk around in balaclavas, or is that like a normal thing? I suppose if it's really cold, right? I'd imagine what they're doing is they're trying to intimidate them.
Give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers, and they actually took down.
Okay, this looks like a daycare center. They've got pictures of kids on the wall. They've got like colors. You've got butterflies. All right, this one looks legit. We may have found one real one.
50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers, and they actually took down information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that someone mentioned your description. We're in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay. So
he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just checking.
No, this is
Another woman to the rescue. Amazing.
This is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady.
I think that this is actually like, I'm gonna say, obviously if you're scamming, you want to put on a good show for the scam. I mean, no,
And finally, we were accepted
but
into
like,
one of the
there's lots of stuff in here that makes this look like a real place.
daycare centers, and they
So what I'm gonna assume is that
actually
this
took
is
down-
actually a legitimate healthcare, but this is where the Somali scammers keep their kids. Is at one of these places. You've got like this book here that's like worksheets and stuff like that. Like that's something you would have lying around. Now, if you want to just leave those lying on the table to make it look legitimate, I suppose you could do that as well. But I'm going to assume that this is the one actual legitimate company. Like this woman is like it's so unfair for her, I suppose. All right, let's get back to the trespassing.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did
Actually, I
go-
think these guys are their security. Those guys in the balaclavas, but I saw a lot of people in balaclavas at the beginning as well.
Inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us
Because
rates
people
for
people
childcare.
do come up and press you in these sort of instances.
Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
As we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health.
All right, we've got the African Economic Development Studies. So this is where Mr. Will Stencil got his degree in Black Studies.
Healthcare
It do
providers
be like that,
operating from inside
Mr.
of the
Stencil.
building.
Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Denden Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business, providing the same service in the same building.
Solution? No, I'm talking about Will Stounsell. He's got a degree in Black Studies. Don't you know the deepest lore about Mr. Will Stounsell?
Another, Convenience Home Healthcare, Aid, Inc., and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company, essentially, inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Healthcare. It just does not make sense. If you're trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering, because we hear there's lots of fraud taking place here in Minnesota, and we're wondering...
That is true, but there's just no space for these, what they're obviously providing. Now, if you had like a bunch of different home offices, that could make sense. I mean, these are obviously scams. But the only place where you see like, legitimately you see like all these businesses trying to compete with each other right next to each other is China. China is so funny when it comes to business because there's such a standard of cheating in China that like, if you're doing business with China in general, you have to assume like 10% of the product that you're ordering is going to be like completely fake. Or like if you're buying like 100 tons of metal or something, you always assume like 10 tons of it is going to be just like cardboard covered in metal that they're just going to try and like pull the wools over your eyes with. And it's so funny because like if you don't do this, it's like almost disrespectful in Chinese culture. But like one thing that they do is that they're very adverse to doing anything that hasn't been done before. So anytime somebody starts a new business, everybody starts copying them. And that's why you have like these hundreds and hundreds of these like bike rental places now in China, is because one guy did it, and like the bike share, bike rental, scooter share thing like that, it got really popular. And then like 100 other companies shop on the same street because they're just like, well, it's working once, well, why not again? And now you just have like these like mountains of bicycles being like wasted and thrown into like garbage pits in China. It's very funny. They're just like an entire nation of followers rather than anyone. And there's like one guy becomes a leader and then he immediately loses everything because he gets copied by everybody. Very sad. They also have no concept of like copyright, which is very interesting.
Why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay? That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you.
No.
So you can see inside here, this guy's got his engineering degree, his doctorate, and this is probably like some sort of science or STEM degree. Very well-educated man in here.
No, you don't have to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Okay.
Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to? Okay. As soon as you confront about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home healthcare companies, you're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
Well, that's a lot of work. That's a pretty smart scam, though. You just get like one guy to come in for your services, and you get like, okay, we're going to give you some aspirin. Okay, that's legitimate business. That'll be $5. We can get you to come back in a year and get an MRI for $100,000. And we're going to, obviously, we'll bill that to your health insurance company. So it will only cost you nothing. And then you just never get it. And nobody even cares. It's like, well, congratulations, you did it. Congratulations.
So they're essentially just using people, saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And for this building, I'm going to give an estimate of around $30 million for how much fraud is taking place. That is a very low estimate. However, still a lot of money in fraud.
And do you think there is fraud taking place?
Let's have a look at some of these signs, actually. Let's see. So we've got Housing Stability, A24 Behavioral, AOOP, Abal Healthcare LLC.
That is a very low estimate.
Adobe Assistance LLC, Akbar Home Healthcare, Action Day Human Services, Adidas Travel, Adult Child Therapy, and Advocating
However,
Change
still
Together. Okay.
A lot of money in fraud.
And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
And now, with upwards of $100 million in fraud, we headed to one more daycare. And this one gets a little spicy as we get chased out at the very end. And after this, we'll be heading to the state capitol to confront the incompetent government leaders who have enabled this fraud to happen.
You just like the question is like, how could they get away with all of this? How could they get away with all of this? And you just know. You just know immediately, how could they get away? It's because of this woman right here. Look at those problem glasses. You just know that she's personally responsible for $9 billion worth of fraud in Minnesota. I don't care if anyone else. No, it's all her. Just blame it on this chick.
And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video and I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian. And if you guys want to help fund my security in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came and decided to help me out for this video. You can go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below, and click Guardian for Nick, and those funds will...
What is this? I'm actually kind of curious about this.
They came and decided to help me out for this video. You can go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below.
Discrete mission grade. Wait, why didn't it pause? Pause! Oh no. My tab crashed! Alright, restore crash tab. Restore this tab. Oh my gosh. They got me. They got me, chat.
Exposing...
Alright. It's back.
Fraud to happen. And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video.
Don't know why this happens
sometimes. I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian.
Alright, we're going to go through frame by frame. Maybe it was because I was using frame movement.
Maybe in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came and decided to help me out for this video.
There we go. Discrete mission-grade protective services and threat management for leaders, families, schools, churches, and high-risk institutions. Interesting, okay.
Go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below, and click Guardian for Nick, and those funds will directly go to my security and future videos as we are exposing lots of things happening, especially with this fraud. Like I said, they're not sponsoring this video. I'm just giving them a shout out because of how they helped me.
It's the
go
sweetest mercenaries.
Click Guardian for Nick, and let's keep going. And now we're going to the next location. Now, this child daycare center, this one's different than all the other ones we've been to. Tell us about this one.
This one is different because, according to the state of Minnesota, this 312 West Lake Street houses not one, not two, but three child care centers and is licensed to hold 102 children. And in fiscal year 2025 was paid $2.66 million by the state of Minnesota.
And this is...
I mean, Minnesota is very bleak, isn't it? Like, I can kind of understand why people would want to do crack all the time or cocaine all the time. I mean, you just look at these streets. You got like Popeye's chicken. That seems fine. I guess nothing wrong with Popeyes. You see these streets covered in dirty snow, graffiti everywhere. This is honestly a dystopian country. Well, state.
Is the building right here. So this building alone made $2.6 million. Let's see if anybody's inside. Now we're inside of the building where there's apparently 4 childcare centers.
We met this lady and we followed her to the back of the building where the daycare...
All right, let's see. Parentaware.org. You've got this one. Looks again. This looks good. You've got your colorful signs. Visitors, sorry, no entry if no face mark. They've still got their COVID stuff up. Okay, so the war's still going on. Maybe they're just too lazy. Keep health. You've got like all these. Yeah, this looks legitimate so far. Maybe like give her a chance. Maybe it's legit.
Care was supposedly at.
So right here we have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name? Do I see
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year.
Now, I will say that, like, while they do have all the finishings of what a childcare would look like, you've got your Minnie Mouse here, you've got your cartoon characters and everything. This is such a bleak and spooky, like, warehouse almost. Like, not exactly the kind of the front that you would want for it. Also, where are the families coming in to pick up kids or drop off kids, things like that?
We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department?
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center.
Look like they have a pram.
But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Do you know where the children are at? Where are the children at in these daycare centers?
I don't care.
How can these childcare centers have no children?
I don't know. No.
There's $2.6 million inside these businesses that were given by the government, but there's no children to be seen anywhere. People deserve to know where their taxes are going. If these companies and these daycare centers are making upwards of $2.6 million and there's no children to be seen anywhere, something fraudulent is happening. And that is not make you racist, Islamophobic, This is just the truth of what's happening here in Minnesota. If there's a bunch of white people doing the same thing, we'd be talking about the same issue. This is just fraud at unprecedented levels here inside Minnesota. It's actually very concerning. Where are the children at inside of these buildings? They're nowhere to be seen. Millions of dollars are being sent into these daycare centers all across Minnesota, and there's not a child to be seen anywhere.
Disney should sue these people? I mean, maybe, but like they never really do. It's kind of crazy how much copyright infringement there is in these sort of businesses, like the legitimate ones. Even like in Japan, like it's really funny how like they get away with so much stuff. There's like they straight up just have like Mickey Mouse school or whatever, things like that. Nobody gives a shit. It's too much. There's too much things to police everything.
Here's another daycare center inside the same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask the local government.
Oh, we've asked. We have the paper here. So we're wondering where the money and where the children are at. We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk
You don't
outside?
have
Like, I wonder how this would work. Well, first of all, they're recording them as well because you can see the woman in the back was recording. So this is one of the most annoying things is when people are recording and they're like, "You can't record me, but I can record you." But like, inside their businesses, surely you have a right to privacy. But I think in America, like inside this building, would that be considered a public space? I mean, the building itself is a private building, but this guy is not the building owner. So he should have no ability to enforce this. Not that it matters, because it's never going to come up, but I'm just curious.
permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
You cannot stop people.
Is a one-party consent state? Well, that's for phone calls. That's different. Talking about recording in a public place. I mean, maybe it's not the case in Minnesota, but like with a phone call, you have an expectation of privacy. So if it's a one consent party state, then that's different. But like in America, generally, you don't have a right to privacy in a public space, which is something that a lot of Americans forget when they come abroad, because a lot of countries don't have that.
Street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission.
So it's business premises, not public. Yes, but it's not the building itself is not his business. If it's inside his own business, he has an expectation of privacy. He might not have an expectation of privacy outside his business. Is what I'm curious about. I mean, if he's the building owner, then that's different. But he clearly isn't.
We have nothing to do with this. You
Okay.
understand?
Then are there
so leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center.
You ask whoever you think is doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. So leave. Leave.
Tell us what's happening here then.
I said leave.
We're wondering what's
We
happening.
are not a child care. We are nothing to do with it. We're common people walking. And
Yes.
You are.
We're not accusing you. We're asking where.
If he's a common person walking through, then what authority does he have to ask them to leave? It's like, this is one other thing they do, is that they say that we don't work here, but also you're not allowed to film here. It's like, well, what authority do you have to issue that?
The children are at.
Don't ask me anything.
We're not accusing you. We're asking the daycare.
That's a hallway connecting different businesses, public easement. See, that's what I would assume. That's what I'm thinking. That's what my thought process was. But this guy's now claiming that he's not a business owner. He's not working here. He's just a public person, and he's asking them to leave this public space, which you cannot do.
Centers.
I am not going to answer. You have.
Where are the children at?
Leave. Leave.
We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who you work for?
I work.
What does this mean? A ruse? What is that? The sign. A ruse? Is that a name, or is that a word that means something?
Myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer
You're
the
not
question.
talking
Are
to
there
the right
children?
person. Leave.
There's no children inside this
You
building.
don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at? David, they won't even answer. We asked him. Plain and simple. Where are the children? Do children come here?
This is why I've had my life. I've been attacked twice. Once with a knife, and the other time I was jumped last Saturday by 3 Somali men simply for asking questions about what was going on. And they're very, very violent people. They do not like this fraud to be exposed.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question, where are the children, he called the cops on us, and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have
Finally, someone's going to be held accountable, surely, at this part of the video.
enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud
Wait a second.
enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this
Who's this white guy just like staring off into space? He's just got like he's just daydreaming while the camera's recording.
Committee, a Republican representative showed charts.
Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of all right. Like what we need here is like we need like the my face when, and it's like woman is talking. This is exactly what happens to me too. It's just like it's too perfect. Too perfect. Okay.
Showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all.
All right, let's see what we have here. Real estate brokerage. Several realtors run healthcare companies. Different companies connect. It's all connect. African Mineral Company. Wait, what? FOF defendant. 2 houses, 3 houses, $2.3 million. 4 connected to the real estate. You've got the restaurant visited by undercover state agents. You've got the adult daycare. African Mineral Companies, 4 beds here, 5 beds, $400,000. That's crazy. Okay.
All the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue. So I went and confronted her after that. He has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name is Nick Shirley. Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
She's waddling away, chat. She's trying to get away. Answer.
Well, because that's what I heard you talking about.
I know what I said is that
because
what we're talking
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not.
sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes.
This woman doesn't know what to do, but she's being confronted by a minority. You know that at this moment, the thoughts going through her head is, wait a minute, you're supposed to be on my side. You can't do this to me. Don't you understand? She's like, how do I call this guy a racist and get away with it? Autistic, zesty black guy strikes again. You can't stop him. He's too powerful.
If you're going to talk to me like
Are you
that,
going to say to her, I'm a disability advocate?
I heard you, and we've got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here?
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I think what you heard today is that the Republicans who
Hold on a second. This guy is absolutely going to sniff the seats as soon as they leave the room.
as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I think what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump.
It's crazy to imagine that, like, okay, she's going to talk about how it's all Trump's fault. It's crazy to imagine that, like, if a few different things were happened, Tim Walz would have now been the vice president. I'll go back in a couple seconds.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have is fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers.
I mean, the fact that, like, other people have done bad things too does not make this okay. But, like, it seems like such an easy issue. This is the thing, is like, you literally just have, okay, this person's getting $1 million for their daycare. We can surely afford to send one person to go check before we give them this amount of money. It's just simple, standard inspection. Not only just for, like, safety reasons, but just bring one dude. It just takes one dude. Oh, look, there's 50 children here. Okay, you get $1 million. No, congratulations. Even though I think that these businesses should be running under their own stem, not using government handouts, whatever. But, like, it's that fucking simple. It's like, well, we don't have the funds for it. What, to send a guy out to every daycare? Well, you have enough funds to give them tens of millions of dollars. They can't have one dude checking one daycare a day. That's all it takes. It really is that simple. The fact that they can't get anything done shows you that it's most likely that being this negligent on purpose.
I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue. And so, again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay. Well,
Is this
saw what
really
happened
the
there?
state of Minnesota that we live in? And these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump, they want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care.
I assume he's talking about, like, this is a little bit over the top, but I assume he's talking about the Minnesotans. He's talking about the Minnesotans. They're the people. They're the people. They're suffering.
How many more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless? And how many more people are gonna be trafficked in our freaking system?
It was kind of like, I'm not sure. Maybe he had like an entire portion that was recorded and they didn't air or something. Because this is some different issues. In one day, we uncovered an estimated $111 million worth of fraud alone. Just 2 guys and a camera. And his mum, apparently. It is time to hold the corrupt politicians accountable. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. Minnesota doesn't give a shit. Minnesota, I don't know, it's just this crazy state where anything happens, apparently. It is insane. Like, you'd think it would be talking about Florida all the time, but we're always talking about Minnesota. For some reason, it's just like the epicenter of all the weird shit going on in America. All right. So that's the documentary. If you want to check that out on Nick Shirley's channel, I think that was great. I think it was very entertaining. There was at least one business, but then hundreds of fake businesses. Let's see what other videos he does. Nick Shirley, I investigated Minnesota's billion-dollar fraud scandal. That's what we just watched. Inside Muslim versus Christian battle growing in America. Asking Americans about the current state of America. It looks like good stuff. All right, what is this? What is this? That's some other stuff here. So breaking, political donations to a Somali candidate are being scrutinized because they came from childcare firms in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The money went to Ubax Gadhia, a single black immigrant from Somalia in her Washington election. I wouldn't be surprised if these fraudsters funnel the money to their preferred Somali political candidates all across America, courtesy of the taxpayer. You can see here. They actually have maxed out the donations. So it's all connected. It's actually quite interesting. You've got Sunshare Childcare maxing out their $1,000 contribution, Minneapolis. Minnesota Best Childcare. That was one of the childcares that was listed in the documentary. $1,000 from Minneapolis. All right, let's see what this lady has to say.
Hi, I'm Ubah Kadere. I'm a single black immigrant mother and homeowner.
Candidate, Metropolitan King Council, District 9. Okay.
In the unincorporated area of Renton, and I'm running for King County Council in District 9. I came to King County 25 years ago as a 15-year-old refugee. My values are shaped by my lived experiences, my policy chops, and my organizing background. For decades, we have seen our Black, Indigenous, people of color communities and working class communities facing systemic and structural racism.
Okay. I mean, some of these working communities that are donating to you are just stealing money from the government, though. So, you know, work is a component of that they're missing.
These problems peaked last year with COVID and a renewed reckoning of systemic racial injustices.
Wasn't the racism in COVID, though, like towards Chinese people in general? There's like a channel I like to watch, like the Best Ever Food Review Show. He's pretty good. He's got a couple of Vietnamese cameramen working with him. And like when they were going around Africa, they started getting harassed because they were like, well, these people are clearly Chinese, even though they're Vietnamese. It was actually kind of crazy.
Today, we need bold vision rooted in community to reimagine how King County functions. I bring forth decades.
All right, I think you've seen enough. That's all I wanted to show is just proof that these fraudulent daycares are sending money to the political contributions as well as terrorism abroad. Unbelievable. It's this one. Don't think we need this one actually. I think that's kind of the things. Her manager is a weakest, maybe. I don't know. I just love this shot. It's so good. The child Leering Center, $1.9 million it does, and Tour Studio for $2 it does. As her campaign manager is Wekus. Is that the guy from District 9? I love that movie, but I haven't seen it in a long time. It's such a good movie. It was so sad there was no follow up to his story. Very truly tragic. All right. Do I have any other good links here? Oh, there's another one by this one. Let's see. Here's one of the many daycare counters making millions a year off of Minnesota taxpayers. It should have been so simple for the government to shut this down. All they need to do was a little investigation. Instead, they just sign and mail checks to every month the Somali fraudsters. Thank you.
Massive fraud in the state of Minnesota, especially in Minneapolis. This daycare right here, ran by Somalians,
This is one of the ones that was featured in the Nick Shirley one as well.
has taken in from the Minnesota government $1.1 million.
Wait, is this the mum? Is this the mum? Is this the picture is with Nick Shirley? It's all connected, chat.
This daycare says it can hold up to 40 children. I went up to the door. The door is locked, and as you can see, the windows are blacked out. I can't hear any children inside this daycare. It's midday right now. You'd think there'd be children in there playing, being
It's
taught,
Shirley's mum.
but no one is in.
I mean, are they actually his? Is it actually her mum? I mean, his mum. I didn't realize that when I was doing
there.
this.
This daycare with
Or are they just friends or something?
years has taken in over $2 million. The Somalians are robbing the taxpayers in Minnesota blind.
She's reported to. Yeah, that's why I assume it was a joke. I assume it's like a joke, and it's like they're not actually his mum.
This is just one daycare located in Minneapolis that are doing exactly the same thing. We've went into daycare after daycare. All the doors are locked. All the windows are blocked out. And they're raking in millions upon millions of dollars. This Tim Moss's Minnesota is allowing this to go on. It's super easy to find fraud. All you need to do is go up to a door, try to open it. It's closed and there's no children. So you know these daycares, they're not full, but yet they're taking in millions of dollars every year. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
All right. Very good. Very good. Now, the betting. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We got breaking news. While we were, when we started the stream, are you guys responsible for this? Because I mentioned this, that will anyone be charged over the Minnesota daycare fraud in Minnesota? When we started the stream, the chance of someone being charged by January 31st, 2026 was 56%. It has now plummeted to 41%. This could be a good buy now, although I couldn't recommend this. That is hilarious. Like this, we literally started the stream at 56%, and it's yeah, dump it. He bought dump it. Yeah, exactly. Is my chat responsible for this? Maybe. How much was it before? I know it's up to $141,000 now is what people are betting on this. I bogged it. Yeah. We may have actually bogged it. I don't know. I think this story is kind of exploding. I wanted to talk about it last night, but then I had tech issues. I had the all right, we're going into the post show, I guess. We're going to just talk about random stuff. Yeah, I was going to talk about this last night, but my camera was bogged as well. And then there was like some weird banging on my walls by one of my neighbors. Something weird was going on. So I thought it'd be better just to reschedule. But how's it been going, chat? We haven't talked in a while. I've been very lazy this month, I suppose. Let me see if I have the... Do you guys want to watch the quartering thing? It's kind of funny. I guess we'll go over that stuff now. I'll put up like a banner so that people know that the main story's over. Let's see. Main story over post show. So people don't feel like I'm scamming them. Although if I was scamming them, I'd be making millions of dollars. Wait, how do I do this? Make it into a banner. Scroll across the bottom as a ticker. There we go. Save that. Like this. There we go. There we go. Now we're into the post show. Let's get some subs. Now, I think we got some generous subs today. Let me see. Where's my thing? I can't remember which tab I put it in. I got way too many fucking tabs. It must be over here. Is it this one? But the quartering deleted it, so I have to find it now. You know what's kind of crazy? Like, I found this really crazy thing. This is like, I was going to do an entire episode on this, but I just never got around to it. This is just on my backlog of stuff. There's a guy, like in the AI space, there's a guy that's like completely stealing people's content, well, their voices, and using it to make just movie reviews. So this is like this guy here. Like, listen to it, and who do you think this is? Right.
They would love selling you a story. They live for it. And in the 1960s, the story they loved selling you more than anything else was the Good War. World War II. Oh, so
it's clearly the critical drinker's voice. But it's just this channel called The Jaded Historian with 2,000 subscribers. He's just like, you know what? I'm just going to start putting out movie slop reviews. And he just keeps getting away with it. He's up to 76 videos. If you go to the oldest video, it's kind of like I was investigating this a little bit 5 months ago. Let's have a look at his oldest
The
video.
5 feuds I'm about.
So he just started off with like the regular AI voice. But for the last 20 videos or so, it's just purely the critical drinker.
Santa Claus conquers the Martian.
Well, actually, this
to
one
make
isn't.
cinematic history.
This is
Or
just a
as my
Scottish
old
guy.
fella would
Maybe he got caught. Because last time I checked this, there was like, it was all the critical drinker. Let's see
Home
this one.
Alone 3.
All right, now he's gone into Scottish man. So I guess he must have been caught by it. But he was just getting away with this for like so long. It's insane. It's just an exact clone copy of was it this one? This is 1 month ago.
This one's a request.
Yeah, this one's just the critical drinker. And like the critical drinker, he doesn't really have like a face on his camera as well. So like people can get away with this and just get tricked with it. This is kind of very concerning actually, because it's very good at cloning people. It's one of his mates. No, because the critical drinker was actually complaining about this. They actually made a bit of a stink about it to people on YouTube, but nobody took it seriously. Now let me see. Where is this quartering stuff that I had? Here it is. Okay, that's this one here. There was a very interesting response to it by Josh of Kiwi Farms. So let's. So this is the quartering at Amfest. They paid like $90 a chair. I guess quartering paid for 2, and they scammed their audience out of tens of thousands of dollars to go here as well. So this person posts saying, "It's over. She replaced you, bro." Let's take a look. Quartering.
Yeah. Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight, and Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere family orientated.
I can't watch football with you guys? You can. I would love that.
Oh yeah, that would be
Wow,
fun.
thanks, Melanie.
He's so fucking mad. There's like so much to analyze this clip. First of all, he looks like a wreck. Even in this low quality, even it, you're gonna someone's already stolen my voice, allegedly. You've got this like he's got those badger eyes. He's got those badger eyes. He looks like a creep. He's forcing to sit up right next to her, and he's like, "Well, yeah, me and Melanie are gonna go watch football. If Hannah's gonna fuck off."
Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight.
And look at, first of all, Melanie Mack, her eyes go like, she's scared. She's shook. Isn't he married? Yes, but only in name only. Like his wife, he buys his wife planes, and she goes off and bones the flight instructor. They don't live together. They have no connection to each other. He's just trying to hook up with all these like younger women that he hires on his podcast. She's absolutely worried about this. Watching football with smelly Jeremy while he's going to the shitter every other commercial break.
And Hannah Claire will probably be going.
You can look at the eyes. You can tell. She's making the face. She's making the face. She's like, "Save me, help me, help me."
Somewhere family orientated.
You can see she mouths it too.
I can't watch football with you guys? You can. I would love that.
Oh.
As soon as she says, "Well, I could help you too." Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea. Quartering is he's not happy.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Wow, thanks.
That would be fun. Fucking Hannah Claire. Hannah Claire is like, if you watch the Kino Casino, then you'll know all the deepest lore about this. It's a very funny story. The Quartering is so mad at her because she hid the fact that she was pregnant when she got hired, and he feels like he's been scammed.
Melanie, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
We just didn't know if you wanted
Audio
to.
is terrible for this,
I'm great
but
at
yeah.
watching sports, and by that I mean I'm solidly okay.
Well, yeah. Well, we got to figure out where we're gonna go. I have a dinner place I want to go, but I got to call.
So he was going to try and go to the romantic restaurant, but now he has to cancel and find like something where it's okay for 3 people.
Okay.
Football game tonight, and Hannah Claire will probably be going.
Look, you can see it. She's mouthing the words.
And Hannah Claire will probably be going.
Did she say it, chat? Like legit? She had to. I think that's a 1 for yes.
Somewhere. Claire will probably be going somewhere. Yeah.
Wing Woman of the Year. Yeah, Hannah Claire seems she seems like a nice person.
Melanie and I will be watching the.
Now there was a post that that Quartering made that was deleted. He deleted when he got blown the fuck out. I believe that this is the original post because the Kiwi Farms posted it saying the Quartering invites Melanie Mac over to watch football. So all he did was just post the clip. If you're at a public event, people are recording. You can't be embarrassed if people are showing you clips. The Quartering said, we're both huge fans of football and we watched the game. Why are you losers this desperate for content? Oh, by the way, Hannah Claire's baby watched the Packer game with us too. Scandal. I've defended the farms for years, Josh Moon. Why try to cause problems like this? He deleted this. Cowardly. Cowardly, he deleted this. Josh responded saying, I appreciate the support. It's not easy to defend the Kiwi Farms because it can't return favors. I don't dislike you, so I hope you take this to heart. Kino Casino and the Kiwi Farms are not causing problems. It's attention. It's a symptom of underlying problems. You cannot plead poverty and then brag about having a collection of Rolex watches. You can't threaten to terminate your employee and then brag about your lifestyle. You can't beg people to bail out your coffee company because you're under attack by leftists. And then show off charts boosting about your Bay Cup bucks. Bay Cup, I don't know what this is. Bow Cup bucks. It is unacceptable and it inspires hatred from normal people. You can't be on the right wing with a sick wife and then act inappropriately around two young women. Don't even bother trying to defend it. This is awkward tension between the three of you, and it's obvious to absolutely everyone. And I've seen it at least an hour of this bizarre interactions like this. These small mistakes permanently alter how people perceive you, and they compound each other until people just hate you. Very true. They won't even know precisely why. They just will. You can't fix that by explaining it away. It's gut instinct. Yep, it's a vibe check. You failed it. I've been around 13 years. I've seen careers come and go, and I can see a train wreck about a year before it happens. I hope you can take my word. Very true words. Very true words. What is it? What was the word? Bow cup books? What does that mean? Sorry, this is American terminology. I don't understand. Somebody speak English in the chat. Tell me what it means. Twitter Studio with a 5 says, I have to call the restaurant and cancel the grotto view and the champagne and add a third section with a kitchen view table. You need to make sure it's okay for kids too. You got a kid crying, it ruins the mood. He's absolutely seething about that. All right, so that was the Quartering stuff. Like I said, it was a very short one. There was some funny Frogan stuff, but like, I might wait to see what happens. But Frogan was invited onto the financial audit podcast with Caleb Hammer, and she declined it. Now, Denims is going to go on. But we're going to be robbed. We're going to be robbed of the expose of how she's spending thousands of dollars on males when she's claiming that she can't make any money on anything. Oh, here's a picture of a horse I saw too. Sorry. This is really the post show. I think it's cute. There's a pretty cool little horse I saw on the island when I was getting surrounded by refugees of my own. But it was quite nice. All right, I think that's... Oh, wait, I guess I'll throw this stuff in too. Or should I save... You know what? I'll throw this in, but I'll probably save it for another time as well. Ethan Van Sciver. So the man that licked a toilet when he was on cocaine or crack or whatever. This is just a funny clip from Melissa Clips. The best clipper in the sector. This was a week ago. I guess next time we talk about Minnesota garbage, we'll talk about this clip. But let's check in with Ethan Van Sciver and see how he's doing. Let's see. Let's have a look.
I received a nice trophy today in the mail. Nice trophy.
You got a trophy.
And I want to thank everybody who nominated me.
You got a trophy. So Ethan Van Sciver has won the illustrious Comic Skate Man of the Year award. Way to go. Let me get an applause for him. Get an applause.
Trophy. I got a nice trophy here. It says Comic Skate Man of the Year.
Wow.
2000.
Where did you get that made?
That's for Eric July. They sent that to the wrong person. I'm supposed to go to Eric July.
No, it says I looked. It said Ethan Van Sciver. It doesn't say Eric July.
Yeah.
They might have messed up.
It's kind of, first of all, there's two funny things. You've got Cecil here saying like where did you get that made? Because there's going to be a spoiler alert. Ethan Van Sciver printed a trophy for himself. Then you've got like Alex Stein down here saying it should be for Eric July, which is true because he's actually making money in the comic industry and actually putting out his comics and not scamming his audience. And he's not spending 5 years to put out Rainbow the Brute or some shit. Okay, just do some fucking work instead of printing trophies for yourself, man. So both of them already felting him. Very funny. And you just know that even though they're joking and they're trying to have fun, that you just can tell that he's seething. He's seething on the inside.
Misspelled it, but
they
I think
misspelled it. That's what I'm saying. They might have misspelled it. So.
I don't know. It's possible. It's possible that Eric July is the Comicsgate Man of the Year, but all I know is the trophy came to me and I'm keeping it. And I want to thank everybody who voted for me out there, and I know lots of you did.
Where did you vote for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I voted for Eric July. I don't know how you won. I'm really confused, but
okay.
You're really glazing Eric July. I've never read any of his comics, but at least he has a fucking business, and at least he puts out his comments. It's not glazing to say that the man is delivering on his promises and making millions of dollars. Okay, I've never read any of his comics. They're probably all shit. All comic books are shit. But he's definitely putting out more content, and he's definitely doing better business than EVS.
For myself.
okay.
Bitches. I had it sent to myself. Okay, it was for me. I made it. There wasn't
There it
anybody
goes.
else. There's no way that you could have voted for it.
Is that your best dad mug also is a phony too? Because I noticed that when I was over your house, that it said greatest dad ever. Now
It
I'm
was
starting
a-
to question.
It was a
questioning
Christmas
everything.
gift and a Father's Day gift to myself from myself. Yes.
So, yeah, you love to see it. It's Christmas. You buy yourself a little gift to make yourself feel better. Nothing wrong with it, but very funny. Yeah, I'll save that next time we talk about the other thing. Let me see. All right, I think that's all I got for you today. I gotta get back to fucking work. I posted my horsey pictures in the Discord already. But I hope you guys had a good Christmas. I certainly did, apart from the refugee situation. But maybe there'll be some New Year's stream. We'll see. It's kind of hard to stream in the evening at the moment. But hope you enjoyed this one. And peace. Have a good one.